hate talking about people that I like, especially here on the show. I hate spilling tea on people that I like. But my boy Savara is going through it because he is being flamed. Baby boy, and the way you were doing good, what is this bad PR going on? Anyway, Savara decided to get on a podcast, the Mic Check podcast. And as the conversation was going here and there, they decided to bring in Elani into the mix. And he goes on to say how he had a helping hand in the rise to fame for Elani. But unfortunately, the group Elani decided to grow horns and become too big to be led, or rather to be shown the way, and that was the beginning of their downfall. And before you say I am misquoting things, let me just tell you exactly what he said. He said, the only thing I can say about Elani is I don't think they understood the assignment. I produced for them so many songs, but I think they had a manager that was lying to them, and something lied to them that they can replace Sauti Soul. Goes on to say, that was the mistake. Just relax, do the music, enjoy the process, enjoy the music. Unajipimamisha, pimanisha na mamamba. How dare you fight the crocodiles, Elani? How dare you young children try to fight the goats? Anyway, I went on to say, na hapo ndio walianza kujipimanisha, we can do better than Sauti Soul. And then goes on to say, nawaonea huruma. As in, there was just a lot of layers to that thing. Goes on to say, nawaonea huruma because they really had a chance to do something great. Huwezi pata group iko na the dynamic of one guy and two girls. Goes on to say about their fall from stardom and how, because of, you know, sometimes things get rough in the group. And instead of them fixing that, they decided to get other sources of income. And we know the two babes are actually corporate babes. I don't know much about Brian Chwe, but I know the two babes are corporate babes. So they decided to pursue their careers, and it felt like Elani was just a hobby for them. He said he was actually the one creating the beats. Wow. Alijipa credit. Akasema, the beats I was creating at that time, listen to Jana Usiku, walikuwa na ustadom. Alafu, ukapata mademu wawili na chali moja, hao mademu walikuwa na jiona wanoma. And I'm just like, Savara, stop speaking. Stop speaking, because you were very attractive. You're a very attracting man. And then now you're speaking, and now I can't unhear all of this coming from you. And I was getting the ick, because why are you talking about them like that? Anyway, Brian Chwe from the group Elani was not one to take this sitting down, and he responded on social media and said, a simple Midas touch. You begged, Savara begged to produce for us, my G. Keep our name out of your clout-chasing mouth. Savara lies on the Mic Check podcast on Elani. You recorded all our songs. Shut up. Just because BN is doing much better than you, expected alone. And I was just like, Brian, the last part was not necessary, because why are you bringing BN into all of this?
Mix,
you know,
yeah.
Just because they decided to do solo careers, now you're comparing the two because one of them dissed you. Maybe it was criticism that you're not taking kindly, and it is okay. When somebody critiques you, it's okay for you to receive it. And if you feel offended by it, ask yourself, why am I being offended? Is it because it was right? Or is it because they are a lying person? And if they're lying, call them out. But if they're right and you're offended by it, sit in your offense a little bit and then work on it. It is that simple, Brian. And I feel like even without Elani, you could do something. You don't exactly have to depend on the group. Sauti Soul has shown you can do solo careers and thrive. Fancy Fingers actually dropped his project. I think it was on Tuesday. He dropped his project, an absolute success. Savara is on tour. BN is on tour. What's stopping you, Brian Chwe? You know, what's stopping you from being great if you're so great? That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
that's all I'm saying.
If you're so great.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I don't know. It felt like a story time for me. It felt like he was reliving the story. And as it happens, the one thing that is for sure, people have different perspectives on the same incident. We could be sitting here looking at the same vase right here and have completely different experiences of this vase right now. And the reality of the matter is, honestly, sometimes those different realities bring out more of an interesting story than anything else. So I feel like if he did produce for them, and he did produce some of their biggest songs. There's nothing wrong with it. He may have not produced all of their songs, but yenyewe kusema kweli, did he not produce Jana Usiku? It's possible he did. Like, some of those things I feel like are just story times. Savara alikuwa in the mode for telling a story, and he really told a story. But the problem is the way he painted that picture just looked wrong. It made them look like stupid little babies, you know, biting their teeth at the background as he's running the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's like, shut up, children. I know what I'm doing. Listen and fall in line. It just felt so weird, especially the part where like he said something about he would be in the booth. He's like, come kujeni muimbe, and then the girls would be like playing with their hair. It's like tuko kazi. I'm just like, excuse you. Excuse you. Oh my days.
Tone is important.
It sounded so misogynistic. Like, it's the only person he really respected was the other man in that whole duo, you know, because you know Brian alikuwa tu hapo, you know, kulikuwa nao mademo wawili alafu Brian wako hapo katikati yao. You're like, oh my god, do you know how you sound? Like, do you know how you're coming off right now? It just came off so wrong. Had he been telling this story in a more, it's giving the same energy as, you know, like Drake versus Kendrick. It's like Drake is over there saying, shut up, little boy. And then Kendrick is like, oh, little boy? Little boy, you're calling me.
Let me show you something.
Let me puff my chest a little. Let me show you something. Exactly. Little boy, let me show you something. It really gave that energy of, we are way better than you. Mind you, he didn't say Savara is way better than you. He said, Sauti Sol, now disbanded Sauti Sol, now individually creating content, Sauti Sol. You know what I mean? It's like the name of that group is what gave him such energy to just be like, we're better than you, we will always be better than you. You should have shut up and listened to us, you little, you know.
It just shows how Sauti Sol had PR.
Yeah.
Sauti Sol as the brand clearly had
the
PR.
Way he spoke,
because we never saw this.
None of these things came out.
But Savara, the individual, does not have PR.
I promise you.
And you need that.
I promise you, the way he spoke, it gave so much clarity to some of the reasons why people decided to go solo. The way he sounded just gave me the, okay.
I feel the more we see the group as individuals,
the more we
kind of understand the dynamics.
You're like, oh, okay, I see what was happening.
What's going on?
Oh, okay, that's what's under the curtain. It's not cute. That's unfortunately what it gave. And I'm so sorry to say it, Savara. You sounded out of pocket completely. You should have phrased everything so much better. The story would have become such a nice hero story. You know, it's like, yeah, we produced some songs together. I knew they had a place they were going. Like, I had so much faith in them. But I don't know, the dynamics of the group just didn't work out for some reason. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. I can't quite put a finger on what happened exactly. But yeah, the dynamics of the group just didn't work out. Yeah. They felt like they needed to pursue their different careers. They felt like this was more like a hobby that they had at the time. And so, you know, do you hear me?
But now it felt like
your
ex-friend is gossiping about you.
Mziki haina do. You know, mziki haina do. Acha tu tukafanya the moment walingia kufanya individual careers, basi imekwisha. I'm just like, guy, what's going on here? Somebody catch Savara. Somebody. Yeah, he was a lot.